Hello everybody, DinosGG here. Thanks for tuning in. What I'm going to be doing for you today is going to be the tutorial on how to build the casino town. There are a few important things you need with the casino town. You need an area with good land value. You need an area that has access to both trains and water for ferries. And you need a decent area to build your land on, something that's kind of flat that you can run your train tracks through. I think I've found just the place. I took a little bit and I looked through all the regions. I ended up going... Wasn't that one? That? No. That one? Nope. I believe I ended up going with the Willow Woods. Hey MG, how you doing? Welcome to the broadcast. Okay, so for my casino town, the biggest problems that I'm going to run into crime and traffic. So I'm going to want to make sure to build my city to have plenty of police stations on probably all four corners of my town. I'm also going to want to use heavy use of this public transit, this rail line right here. The first upgrade I'm going to be getting is the Department of Transportation, and then I'm going to be snaking this railway all through my city, almost like how you would build with roads. So that's going to be kind of interesting to do. Gonna start out the medium density avenue, gonna go up a little bit here. I've kind of learned a little bit that I don't want to build a four-way intersection right here at the beginning of my city. I'm gonna start, I'll use the T method here. So I'm gonna zone these. Gonna put down some residential. This city here, I'm gonna try and not do quite as much industrial. I'll still have to do a little bit just so that like the people don't abandon the city, but we're gonna be keeping industrial at a minimum. Let's see here. Let's drag that up a little bit further. Do a nice low density road. This is where I'm gonna build my industrial, probably over here in the corner. Bring that down like this. I'm gonna turn this back up to the higher speed. Now, one thing that I'm gonna do, because it's a tourist town, I'm gonna rely on wind and solar power for as long as I can, because I don't want to have to deal with pollution. The tourists who are gonna come into my city, they will not like pollution. Which is also why I'm going to be trying to go lighter on the industrial aspect of my city. So that's a dirt road, I don't want to draw that. Let's bring that over here. This basically is going to be my little industrial district right down here. So again, I don't want the pollution from this spreading over to my residential or commercial areas. And this region, similar to my electronics tutorial, I'm going to be starting this region from scratch. So I'm going to be in charge of doing all the city hall upgrades that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a nice open area so that I can do all my upgrades for it without running into any problems. They want a name for my city now. Let's go ahead and call this similar to the other town. Let's call this Casinos 101. Alright, I've got most of my basic services down now. So one of the first things I want to start doing really early on is I want to get this casino house down as soon as it's approved. So for that, I need to focus on some more commercial buildings. Let's get started. I also want to have plenty of room for avenues in my city so that later on I can upgrade those to streetcars. So I'm going to stretch these out a little bit here. Now off on these, like these little side streets right here, these don't have to be the avenues. I just want one big avenue basically to help keep the entire city connected. Let's go ahead and put that down here. We'll fill a little bit of commercial in here. I have a worker shortage now. Let's see how much. So one thing I went over a lot in my electronics tutorial is this details tab right here. So right now I have a lot of unfilled jobs. So I need to really zone up on the residential to get these numbers back down to 0. Basically, you want everything on this sheet here, these orange numbers, to be as close to 0 as you can. So I'm going to zone a little bit more residential to help out with that. There we go. Should do it. Put one more on that little corner there. Okay, so if you just saw, the gambling house just got approved. It's gonna be a little while before I can do that. One thing I need to do right away though is upgrade my taxes to 11%. Your low and medium wealth population, they don't care about higher taxes. So you can raise these right up to 11 right off the bat. You don't get any negative downsides to that. It just gives you a lot more money for nothing basically, and that's what we want. So I'm probably gonna start one of my casinos here on this avenue right here. That'll give me a place that's right good in the middle of the city. So I'm gonna need 15,000 for that. The other thing I'm gonna want to get down pretty much right away after I get the casino, you want to get a police force. The way that crime works in this game is basically, so the criminals, if they successfully commit a crime, their crime level goes up. Let me pull up the graph here so I can show you that. So there are these yellow crimes here, like shoplifting, tax evasion. Those are your low-level crimes. If they get away with those, they move on to robbery or embezzlement. And if they get away with those, then they go up to the serious crimes like mugging, arson, and murder. But if you arrest them, their level goes down a level. So basically, if they were a murderer, they'll go back down to robbery. From robbery, they'll go down to shoplifting. And if you get them again, then they become not a criminal anymore. So you want to keep really on top of that. You don't want people to get up towards this higher end area, because then even when you apprehend them, they're still a criminal. So as soon as they get out, they're just going to commit another crime again right away. That is not what we want. Alright, so I have 16 unemployed, low wealth people. I have a couple unsatisfied shoppers, so I can actually, one building that'll do both of those. It's going to be this commercial strip right here. That's going to be perfect because I'm going to put the gambling house right here as well. And we'll put it right here, give it a little bit of room for upgrade. And I almost forgot, I'm going to click this button here for the casino guy to guide me. Basically what this does is he's going to give me like the quest here on the side, and it'll actually pay me money for stuff that I'm probably going to do anyway. This is the quest for Maxis Manor. It's almost never a good idea to do that. Maxis Manor is really expensive. You have to like individually manage what he does. It's not a fun one to deal with. So let's check the details tab again here. So I still have some unsatisfied shoppers, and I also have unfilled jobs. But before I get to that, Gambling House has a quest for me. So they want a neon sign. Okay. 1,500 bucks to build a neon sign. Let's do it. This is going to bring, these are good because they bring new low and medium wealth tourists to your town each and every day. So I'm going to throw one of those up. There we go. And that was only 1,000 bucks, so I just made 500 profit right there. And then I believe I was short on jobs. Yep, so I need more commercial. I'm gonna put the commercial right here next to the casino. The commercial does really good by the casinos. At the same time, I'll zone a little bit more housing here so that the commercial has more shoppers available to it. This is going to be my backup housing district once I get some more people into the city. In fact, I'll even put a nice little line on here. There we go. Now, my industrial demand is really, really high right now, but my city is not going to be an industrial-based city. Eventually, I'm going to have just commercial and residential. So I'm not too worried about that demand for right now. If I start getting unemployed Sims, then I'll build more over here. But for right now, you see, I still have unfilled jobs anyway. So I'm not worried about them for now. I want to focus all my efforts getting this casino up and running, keeping traffic away from there. So if you'll see here on the sheet, it shows you how many of each class of tourists that I have coming in. So I have 3 of the low wealth, 32 of the medium wealth. Medium wealth I'm getting $4.48 an hour. Low wealth I'm getting $50 an hour. And I won't have any high wealth for quite a while. The high wealth only come in from your ferry system or on the trains. Okay, so see right now this person's complaining about hotels. So we're gonna have to, what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna rezone this residential right here, and I'm gonna turn it into commercial. When these buildings are right next to the casino, they'll turn into hotels, and that'll give my people somewhere to stay. The other important upgrade I want to do right away is see how I've got all these medium wealth people stay at my casino. I don't have any lodging for them right now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the cheap rooms. Cheap rooms are for low wealth people, but I built these for a very good reason, because you can stack your nice rooms, which are for medium wealth, you can stack those on top of it, so it saves up space. Now we're going to have lodging for our people, so that this message, the not a hotel to stay at, that'll go away. Okay, so now power. Our wind power is doing okay, but we're going to need a little bit more to really keep the city afloat. There we go. And again, I want to do wind power because wind power is completely clean energy. I don't want any pollution affecting my city. Eventually I'll have to, just because the wind and solar power isn't as efficient. Um, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Right now, I just want to have my casino bringing in as much money as possible. You see here, got some lodgers in here. I've got plenty of tourists. So I'm making about 700 an hour right now. Which that's pretty good money. And one big advantage that the casino towns have is you start making money really early. Alright, now, I do have criminals already though. And I said that I want to stay on top of that. So I'm going to take out a loan right away here. And we're going to get some police coverage. If we don't get this up and running early on in the city, it'll just be a nightmare later on. So I'm going to put this... I don't really want to put it right on the avenue. But I don't know if I have a choice. I guess I can put it down here. There we go. Now the one thing I'm going to want to do first, well first I'm going to want to put down a flag. That looks kind of cool. Eventually they'll raise like a police flag up there. But that's just purely cosmetic. The thing I'm going to want to watch out for is my jail cells. Because right now this can only hold 10 criminals. You want to do the top floor jails, you'll just plop one down there on the top when you need it. Let's check my details tab. I haven't looked at that in a while. Okay, so I still have unfilled jobs. I also have unsold goods. So that means, you guessed it, more residential. Gonna do a big zone here on the side, and we'll put one down there as well. The other thing I'll need to do too, is I want to stretch this avenue out a little bit. This will give me more room for a couple commercial buildings here. That'll give me more chances of getting a hotel. And my casino is making me tons of money, plenty to pay for this little police station that I've got down here. So my next quest is I have to earn 20,000 in total from the gambling house. That's not going to be a problem at all. This is just raking in the money right now. And so when these counts, when they start to fill up, there's a couple things I can do to keep that in balance. You can build the game rooms here. Like the nickel slots are for low wealth, and the blackjack tables are for medium wealth. That's for if, like, say this is 50 out of 50, I could build the blackjack tables, so then more medium wealth gamblers could come to my city. And I still need more workers, so I'm basically just gonna have to keep zoning residential until I get all these worker demands filled. Yeah, I still have a lot of unfilled jobs. Now most of those are medium wealth, so for some of those there's not really a lot I can do about that. In order for that to happen, I have to start getting the medium wealth parks. The other way I can do that is through like building your utility buildings, like the police station. This raises land value of nearby buildings. Same with the town hall. Same with buildings like the fire station, the hospital. Those are all going to raise up your land value. So I'm trying to put off parks for as long as I can, because I want my Sims to be down here at the casinos spending their money. This guy's happy he can be a professional gambler. It's a nice little burger joint right here next to the casino. Some nice little car shops, barbecue pit, fast food. So this is like my Vegas strip right now. This is where all my commercial and casino buildings are going to go for the time being. And I'll zone this area over here to get more residential if I need it. So I need 5,000 people, and that'll give me my next upgrade. From there, I'm going to start doing my Department of Transportation with my railways. These guys might want something before that, though. A bus terminal. I actually can't build the bus terminal yet because I don't have Department of Transportation. But that'll be coming up next here soon. Alright, this has been part 1 of how to build a casino town. I've laid down a decent foundation. Stick around, I'll have part 2 coming up in just a moment for you.